Now, Mr. Odrek, this is a very good message, and it starts right with the parents.
Yes.
Now, it means that parents contribute so much on the well-being of their children in the future,
Yes.
in terms of success. It doesn't have to be money. Now, would you please help me have a message for our parents that are watching right now? Because from what you've explained to me, I've just got to learn that my parents have my capital, the very starting point of it with culture. Then if I got trimmed in the right way, I'll know how to handle even the little I have so that it can accumulate. I would humbly request you to have a message for the parents in Uganda, in Africa, and the rest of the world, because this is what really we've been missing out.
So parenting is the most important responsibility, not being a minister
Yes.
of government or being a CEO.
Yes.
Parenting is like a lab to produce a country for
Yes.
tomorrow. Parenting is like a petri dish where you test bacteria or something to stop disease or control it.
Yes.
Why? Because children learn from behaviors, customs, words, vocabulary that they hear at home. Because at home, not school, at home is where there's transfer of these 4 forms of capitals.
Yes.
I mentioned.
Yes.
So let me give you an example. I was a young boy, I think around 1981. And so you're waking up at 5 a.m. and you are rushing to bring in cows from the field. It's a dry season, you milk them, then you have to do planting if it's a planting season, and then be at school by 8. So
Yes.
and then when you come back, you have homework, but you don't have a light to use. You have to use Tadova, the small wick lamp, to read. There's a bit of stress as a child
Yes.
on you. So I went to milk a cow, and the cow kicked me, and I used very bad words on the animal. And it's an animal.
Yes.
Okay. So my father had at a distance. Didn't beat me. Eventually, I milked the cow, brought the milk in, and then he said, "I heard what you did." And he said, "The animal you insulted is not just an animal. It provides for you. It gives you the milk you drink, and that's where your school fees comes from. Please, the respect you give to people should be accorded to the creation of God."
Wow.
It just stayed with me.
Would you please help me repeat that statement?
The respect you accord to human beings, give in equal measure the creation of God, because there's a purpose for that animal.
Yes.
Okay? So I didn't need a law for animal mistreatment as a child.
Yeah.
But I also realized that there's more to an animal than just for beating or for milking. How do you call that? It's a form of capital on values, on the priorities as a child growing up that you are called to people and the things that God has given you. Now, of course, now the country is building an industrial society.
Yes.
We are not just an agrarian society, but we transfer the same values of agrarian society. So Jesus, when he was teaching, he would use simple parables.
Yes.
A seed fell on rocky soil.
Yeah.
It did not sustain. One fell. It's agrarian examples, but they're so powerful on what does it mean to protect the seed God has put in you to bring out your full potential. What does it mean? So these values, I don't think you'll be fortunate to find them, especially in boarding schools. I went to a boarding school, that's where I learned bad habits. But the layers and layers of values had been established by my parents,
From home.
who were peasants. They were none of them.
Little did they know what they were raising.
No, because they taught me you must work hard at school and at home. Do not pass your eye through any job. You can do chores of a girl at home when the girls are not there.
That's a good message for the men that think
yes, it does not stop you from doing the chores of boys outside.
Yes.
Now, in my society, the boy does not do girl chores. But my parents, because they were Christians, they disrupted a lot of negativity and said, so a boy should know how to peel. So I know how to peel matoke as well as how to tend cows.
Wow.
Okay. Now,
impressive.
So where do you put all these things? These are disappearing values that we need to lift into our modernity and say the online, the cell phone, your own, and this online virtual world, restrain yourself, because people now insult each other on social media.
Yes.
But where do insults come from? They learnt it from somewhere. Now, many years when I was much older, I began to see the meaning of this parenting with less words and more action. My father never told me go to church. Oh, you must become. No, he modeled behavior of. So every Thursday, I'm joining my community to open a pathway to a water well. Every Saturday, we are going to hunt wild pigs that destroy crops, because in July people will be hungry. Every Wednesday, I go to a fellowship with my neighbors and we're speaking about our faith. Every Tuesday, we go to Ep2. We gather under a tree and ask, why is so-and-so's son stealing cows? Why is so-and-so's daughter drinking alcohol?
Which is no longer happening.
So where are the laws now that we're stopping those people from? The laws were their cultural, social, spiritual network that protected a poor community and developed it. So my time is to really build on that for the next generation.
Wow. Wow. Honestly, I can't say much from what Mr. Odrek is trying to explain to the world. It is really self-explanatory. And if someone gets a chance to get closer to you, I think that is the social capital. Well, and I'm trying to enjoy that social capital right now. I'm really impressed and I'm learning. And I believe the community would also love to get to know more about this. Parents, my father, your father, my mother, your mother. It starts from home. It is not the mentality of having a lot of money. Because most of the youth, the youth have a mentality that if I have millions of money, I can become a millionaire. But without the cultural capital, you may fail to manage what you have that you think is much to get more of what you've not yet
Money
attained.
is just an enabler, okay? It's an expander of negativity or what's good. Depending on the grounding you got. When you get money, you become difficult or pompous or abuse it.
We bring you Learn with Mr. Odrek Rwabwogo on Tambo Media and get to move with us so that you can get exposed to most of the important aspects of life, especially success.